Hey, welcome back to Destination Pro Wrestling. My name is Ango, and in today's video, we're going to talk a little bit about CM Punk and AEW because we have some major news there. We're also going to talk about AEW's new creative process, and we're going to talk about some major championship plans for the TNT Championship belt. So if you guys like more videos like this, don't forget, click that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it. We're going to kick things off talking about the TNT Championship because, as you guys know, the TNT Championship belt is one of the most prestigious mid-card championship belts in all of wrestling today. That's right, guys. I said it. Now, if you guys haven't been watching AEW for long enough, we've seen Cody, Brody Lee, Darby Allin, Miro all hold this championship belt, and all of these guys had done something really great with this belt. This belt has been treated with the utmost respect from the team at AEW, and the great news is they have no plans to stop. Now, tonight on AEW Dynamite, it is September 29th, so depending on when you're watching this video, we have a championship match between Sammy Guevara and Miro for the belt. Now, this championship was brought up in a storyline because Fuego del Sol decided to put his new Hyundai car on the line against Miro, and then unfortunately, he lost it. AEW had been progressing the storyline on Rampage, and as you guys know, Sammy Guevara, being best friends with Fuego del Sol, is now looking at winning the belt. And of course, we have this awesome image on the screen with Sammy Guevara holding the belt, and it looks so perfect. Now, here's the thing. The TNT Championship belt has evolved since its appearance in AEW. But the good news here is that AEW really wants to make this title a major part of the show. This is why you typically see this championship belt also being displayed on Rampage. Because AEW is trying to bring in traction to that show, we are starting to see more storylines involved with this belt on that television product. Now, we don't know any insight as to whether or not Sammy Guevara will be winning the TNT Championship belt, but what we do know is that AEW is looking at making fresh storylines and including this belt in that process. In fact, throughout the several months that AEW has been using this TNT Championship belt prominently on TV, we all know that some very good upcoming names have been going for this title belt, and that seems to be the plan for AEW. Now, we all enjoy the incredible prestige behind the WWE Intercontinental Championship. It has a very rich history. And it's also been reported that AEW would like to do the same for its TNT Championship belt. So the good news here is whoever is holding this belt is going to have a very integral part for AEW because they want this belt to mean something. In fact, Tony Khan has actually said in the past that this belt should not be looked at as a mid-card championship belt because they like to value their title belts equally. And I think that is a great thing for AEW. And I really look forward to seeing who's going to become the next TNT champion because it's going to come with a lot of responsibility. Now, if AEW does decide to put the strap on to Sammy Guevara and he does walk out as champion, what I would say is to fully expect this title belt to be even featured more prominently because the fact that this title belt is going to include some very big championship matches. All right, guys, now we got to talk a little bit about the AEW creative team. So it just recently came out that Tony Khan does in fact have the final say with all things involving AEW's creative process. He encourages wrestlers to speak up and pitch in their ideas, but now the EVPs do not have any creative control whatsoever when it comes to AEW. Now, you might be wondering why this is something I'm even talking about. Well, we've known for a while how WWE produces their show. WWE Raw has its own writers, SmackDown has its own writers, and NXT has its own writers. And all of those writers do have to report to Vince McMahon. NXT is still very unsure of because Triple H and HBK reportedly still run NXT. However, the creative process between two companies are truly different. And this may be why we're starting to see a lot more organized television from AEW. Let's be real. When all the EVPs, QT Marshall were all involved in the creative process, the shows weren't as structured as well as they could have been. The storylines were good, but the structure and the pacing was very, very difficult and very inconsistent. Since Tony Khan has taken over, well, now we all know that AEW's creative process has improved tremendously, and that is a great thing. The idea that AEW wrestlers do have input, but the final decision goes down to Tony Khan, tells me specifically that AEW knows what they're doing and things are only going to get better. Just like our previous story talking about the TNT Championship, it says a lot when Tony Khan is running the show from top to bottom, because truth be told, if the show sucks, we know that it falls on Tony Khan. But if the show continues to do great like it has been doing, we know that Tony Khan truly is the masterpiece behind it. So when there's a lot of attention given to the TNT Championship belt and it is valued so highly, you know that Tony Khan is making decisions that not only benefit the main event, but also the lower card in the quote-unquote mid-card. Ultimately, really cool stuff for AEW. I'm glad to see that there's actually a structure to their creative process. We know in the past it's been talked about them all having a group chat, putting the show together. Those were the early days of AEW, but now you can actually see that AEW is making progress. This video is sponsored by Fight Fine Microphones. If you guys don't know who Fight Fine Microphones are, I highly suggest you guys check out the link in the description. They were super incredibly cool to send me a new microphone and to sponsor this video. This microphone looks somewhat like my previous microphone, maybe even sounds just as good. But the good news here is this microphone is under $150 currently on Amazon. Now, you might be wondering why I'm talking about this, my friends. We all know that everybody wants to start a YouTube channel and talk about wrestling. I see this in the comments all the time. If you guys want to start a channel and you want to know where to start, don't go and spend thousands of dollars on YouTube equipment. It's a process. It takes time to grow, and the most important part is you want to have fun while doing it. But if you guys want to get started, this is a great microphone to get you introduced into the world of podcasting and YouTube. Go ahead and check out the links in the description down below. And thank you again to Fight Fine Microphones for sponsoring this video. All right, guys, and now we're going to talk about our final story of the day. We are going to talk about CM Punk being banned in AEW. Okay, well, that's not really how the story goes. If you guys didn't know, CM Punk has been doing stage dives all throughout his entrances since coming to AEW. Now, a lot of times people have been asking, how is this even safe due to the COVID pandemic? And that's not even really going to be something I argue about, because that's a whole different discussion. But CM Punk did confirm that he is no longer able to do stage dives in the state of New York due to the Athletic Commission in the state of New York. Now, I have a very strong feeling that this is not something that's just going to be banned in New York. I have a very strong feeling that CM Punk will not do this in any of the other shows, because let's face it, we are still in a pandemic. It was really awesome the first time to see CM Punk enjoy his debut with AEW, immediately jumping into the crowd with the fans. But ultimately, with this pandemic still going on, it is best for everybody to not get so close to CM Punk. The cool thing here is CM Punk has been absolutely transparent about his feelings towards AEW and wrestling, and I don't really think the stage dives really matter, but it is very interesting to see that this is something that's been put in place, especially with the State Commission of New York coming out and talking about how, basically saying that this is banned. It's just a very interesting thing that's happening. But guys, if you're going to be in the crowd for AEW, don't go buy some tickets just in hopes that CM Punk is going to stage dive, because truth be told, it's probably not going to happen. Just a very little fun fact, but I thought I would talk to you guys about it because I do understand completely why it is banned. But that was a New York State Athletic Commission decision, not AEW. But I do assume that AEW probably doesn't like it either. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and click that subscribe button. I would love to hear from you and hear your opinions. And let me know what you guys think in today's news. I will see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.